Lounge. My name is Aaron Paoletta, and this is John Hunter. And today we have one that actually took us quite a while to track down, which we were just laughing about that before the camera started rolling. What a headache this was to get this particular cigar, but it is the only cigar that myself personally likes from Drew Estate, because I don't really like infused anything. This is the Tabak Especial Dulce. Some people say Tabak, some people say Tabak. Whatever comes out of my mouth at the time is what I'm saying. This one is what? This is coffee infused, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, this is, and it's also got what I call the easy light end.
Yeah.
That frayed end. There's an actual term for this. I just don't know what it is, or I can't remember what it is. But this is an infused cigar. I don't really like infused cigars. You know, another one that I tried that I actually took out of this season before you joined on was the M by Macanudo.
Yeah.
Bourbon infused.
Ooh.
2 puffs into it, threw it away.
Oh yeah.
I like the taste of natural.
Yeah.
Natural tobacco. I want to taste that.
Yeah.
Okay, well you're now an ex-smoker. What did you smoke before?
Camel Crushes.
Camel Crush. Okay, could you imagine if they infused it with raspberry?
Yeah. I wouldn't particularly...
but it wouldn't make you that happy.
No.
And that's kind of the way I am with these cigars. There's so much natural flavor and beauty that's in the tobacco when you actually stop in it and admire it and enjoy the flavor of it. I don't want it infused. But this one, Drew Estate played to my soft spot because I am a huge coffee fan.
Yeah. I do like some of the infused. Mainly coffee. I'm a big coffee drinker. I drink coffee all day long, and I wouldn't smoke one of these every day. It's one of those...
This is like a round of golf or a poker night every once in a while. These will get to be too much. Like just the sweetness alone will make you vomit if you do too many of them. In my opinion, anyway.
Yeah.
But the acid line of cigars by Drew Estate is the #1 selling line by him in general.
Every humidor I've ever been in has had the acid line.
Yeah, it is just the #1 seller. This one here, I believe this is a 5 by 52. The ones that I buy, because I buy them by the box, they're 6 by 60 gauge. But that and this one, they're the Ecuadorian Connecticut wrapper. It's got the Nicaraguan binder and filler. The other one, because it is bigger, it's longer, it's fatter. It's I think $10, $50, $11 depending on where you go. I think this was like $9 or $9.50.
Yeah,
still a good cigar, but you know, not something I'm going to do all the time though. But actually, if you smell it before we light these up, smell that. That's like a creme brulee or like a vanilla pudding.
Yeah, it definitely has its unique smell and taste.
Cappuccino maybe. Or like a medium coffee. Dude, it's something. It's something crazy. What are you?
I want to try that.
The V cutter?
Yeah. Let me give that a shot.
I do have multiple cigar cutters. If anybody see me pull these things out of here. We sell those V cutters. I sell these scissors. These regulars. It depends on the cigar. It depends on what I'm going to do. Yeah, that's sweet and flavorful right off the bat. It might be too early in the morning for this thing.
It's like a Black and Mild wood tip almost. As soon as you taste it, you get that flavor right off the wood.
Black and Mild wood. Put that motherfucker out. Yeah, it definitely might be too sweet for this early in the morning.
I've held up smoking one of these for a while because I knew we were doing it on here. I actually particularly care for the darker version of these.
There is 2 versions. There's one that has a very dark chocolatey flavor, and there's this one that has that light wood flavor. Oh, you have one?
Yeah.
Well, good. Show it off. Okay, so you can definitely see. I'll go to your camera. You can definitely see the difference in the flavor. This is a nice dark chocolate, where this is like a nice light brown turd. All right, so flavor, It's definitely coffee infused, but there's some other things in there. That's like there's a really strong vanilla.
Yeah, it's definitely vanilla, like a creamer.
Yeah, or like I said, that creme brulee. It smelled like creme brulee.
Yeah.
It's just see, it's that sweetness, that extra. That's why I don't like sugar tipped. You ever had a sugar tipped cigar? Okay, so imagine. Well, what did we just have? The last week's or last episode was Pensado, right?
Yeah.
Or no, whatever the hell the episode was. Take the Pensado, dip it in sugar, like a sugar solution.
No.
And then smoke it.
No.
And that's a sugar tip. And I have a sugar tip review that I'm going to go over today. I'm not going to say who it was from, though, because I don't want to piss that particular person off. But it was just not good.
Yeah.
Now, maybe if it was a little bit of a bolder cigar, I would have been okay with it. But anything with that added sweetness, like, it's early. It's 8:45.
Yeah.
This is almost too much for me this early in the morning, because I don't do sweets very well.
Yeah. I mean, like these are kind of like a timed cigar, like that right time.
Right time, right place.
Yeah.
And at 8, 9 o'clock in the morning.
No, I would say this is probably a bad time for this cigar, but for me, I still love this cigar.
Oh no, I do too. I loved it enough to get the 6x60 gauge and put them in my humidor. I bought a box of 10. I do like them, but it is the only flavor, like infused flavor cigar that I actually do like. But aside from that coffee, like we talked about, that vanilla or that creme brulee, honestly, it reminds me of like a mocha. Hey, what Dad call those? Mocha frappe latte or some shit like that. Was that something like that? Yeah, my dad used to call it we used to go frapping at Bucks. This is when we lived in Vegas. This is when he first moved there. We used to go frapping at Bucks and get a mocha frappe latte, is what he would call it. That's not what I wanted to say. It kind of tastes like a mocha, like Java chip from Starbucks. That's what my dad used to drink. That's what I'm getting there. But because we already got signaled by Weege that the short break is coming up here in a few, I'm going to quickly go over this one. Now, I am absolutely not going to read who this is. However, it is a sugar tip.
Okay.
Here's the problem. It was a Churchill. It was maybe the diameter of a dime. It was not a big cigar. It was not a thick cigar. As soon as you put that bastard up to your lips, it just swallowed you in sugar, and it was horrible. I could not. It was too much.
Yeah,
it was absolutely too much. The sugar was so overpowering. I could taste nothing of the tobacco.
Wow,
like absolutely nothing.
All you were getting was sugar.
It was like vaping sugar.
Even that would be.
It was it was too much. I gave it a 78, and I spent $10 on that cigar. Actually, I spent more than that. I spent like 30 of them because I bought 3 of them, and I was not happy. So got rid of it. But to save face on that, I'm not saying who that is. But I couldn't even identify any of the other flavors.
Sugar was overpowering.
Sugar overpowered everything, and I just could not stand it. But when we come back, more on Tabak. You're going to give some information, as well as hopefully we'll be into the second third by then. If the flavor changes, we'll be able to identify that. And then in the third section will be 2020s and 2021. So we'll be right back in a few. Stay with us.
The Cigar Lounge is sponsored in part by Rockstar Divisions. Get yourself the Rockstar treatment today. We offer lawn care, landscaping, tree services, and leaf removal. Whether it's spring, summer, or fall, we have the services for you. Give us a call today, 724-605-5135, and get the Rockstar treatment that you deserve. La Vega Cigar Company by Aaron Paoletta, brought to you today by Wurby Films. Get your La Vega cigar today. Choose from the Il Primo or the Il Segundo, sold exclusively by Wurby Films and the Cigar Lounge Cigar Show.
Weege Photography believes in all your adventures. From graduating seniors to capturing the magic of your wedding day to corporate events and restaurant openings and everything in between. Weege Works Photography is here to tell your story. Photographer Alexa Paoletta believes in a simple approach, that no vision, dream, or memory to be made magic should ever be out of reach. For more information, visit weegeworks.com.
Hey guys, welcome back. I have creeped into my second, and before we get into some information about Tabak and the Drew Estate family, which is who makes these, mine's getting a little charry.
Yeah.
Which is weird because some of my bigger ones, and that's actually why I found out the Alec Bradley Max, which I said was my favorite. I couldn't wait to actually film that one.
Yeah.
Which is coming up here soon. This is a Tabak episode, so a few more down the line. I was looking on bestcigarprices.com, and they sold 3 different versions of the Alec Bradley Max.
Yeah.
But all 3 of them were the same thing, only the length size was different. Same gauge size, but the length size was different. They all had 3 had different ratings. One was an 88, one was a 90, and one was a 91. Like, how does the same cigar... Because if you get one that's an inch longer than the other one, it tastes different.
It's pulling the flavors further and further back.
So this one actually tastes different than my 6x60 gauge that I have at the house. And I'm getting some char in this. That sweet and creamy is still just over the top.
Yeah.
But... Because I don't remember my bigger ones. I don't remember them being so pungent.
Yeah.
It's like in your face.
That's kind of like the Asylum 13s that I smoke. I got one of them.
Oh, you had one of the big ones.
Them big bastards, them 80 gauge. And I didn't care for it. It was just...
It was too much.
It was too much.
Yeah, no, I get you on that. Well, give some information about Tabak and the Drew Estate family.
Well, when I first started researching about the Tabak, on the other cigar that I was looking at, when I looked it up, it didn't have the Drew Estate on it, where I didn't see it, and I didn't know it was by Drew Estate until I started looking into it. So obviously it's by Drew Estate. Drew Estate has probably the #1 selling cigar, which is the acid line.
It's the acid line. I don't care what humidor you go into. I don't care if you go to a cigar shop, if you go to a tobacco store, if you go to a vape store that sells cigars, and them acid cigars are everywhere.
Yes, and I haven't even tried one, so I can't say much about them. Drew Estate sells tens of millions of cigars a year. The ridiculous amounts of cigars a year.
See, I'm not going to knock anybody for their preference.
Yeah.
But the people who smoke infused, or like that's their go-to cigar, the Black and Milds, the acid line, even something like this, where they can smoke that every single time they light up a cigar, I think they're just inexperienced.
Yeah.
I'm not going to knock your flavor profile because I've got my own. You've got your own. Mr. K has his own. Our other buddies have their own.
Yeah.
But when you take the time to actually enjoy the true flavor of the tobacco, people will start to get away from the infused lines.
And they use a whole different kind of method of flavoring. They use botanicals, or however botanicals, natural oils like essential oils, and like almost bathing, or how, I forget how they worded it.
Like washing them.
Yeah, like a wash in the tobacco. It's kind of like...
Oh, so essentially they're washing the flavor into it.
Yeah, like
they're brining it.
Yeah, basically. And it's the guy that, like, if you ever see a picture of Drew, he does not look like a guy that smokes cigars.
Are you talking about Jonathan?
Drew. There's 2 of them. There's Jonathan. Yeah, Jonathan Drew.
I don't know the other one. Jonathan Drew's the one I know.
Yeah, then maybe it's just one guy. I'm sorry, I'm kind of flying on my memory here, and it's not the greatest. So,
they already know that.
Yeah, but yeah, it's Jonathan Drew. Like, I remember seeing the picture of him. He doesn't look like a guy that would smoke cigars at all, and that's, nowadays you can't really
It's hard to tell. Back in the old days, you could tell the guys who smoked the pipes because they had that real big, awesome handlebar mustache. You know, that old school like boxing one.
Yeah,
they're the ones that smoked the pipes, and then the guys that smoked the cigars were those old English fat bastards.
Yep.
That would sit there and be like, "That is not," that's the kind of people. And then the guys that smoke cigarettes, well, we're just the average Joes.
Yeah.
Well, now I mean, I got a hipster buddy that, and I'm not even joking. This kid is straight hipster. He wears the girl pants. He wears the tight shirts. This boy will light up a Churchill and just whip that thing out of his bag. You're not even expecting it to come out.
Wow.
You look at him and go, yeah, he's a vapor.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Cigars. Got a hell of a collection of them, too.
Hell yeah.
So that just goes to show you, don't judge people.
Yeah, and
Well, you shouldn't judge people at all. Let me just say that right now.
The Tabaks actually were. I'm not going to say the place because I can't remember for sure, but they. Don't quote me. I think it's Honduras. They went down to specifically design these. And here
Are you
goes
sure
there and again.
Are you sure they didn't go down Atlantically?
Yeah, maybe.
Specifically.
But they went down, and I think they spent about 5 years developing the Tabaks.
Really?
Yeah.
That doesn't taste like 5 years worth of work.
Well, it's infused. I don't know. Maybe Jonathan didn't quite get that right flavor until these.
Maybe. I mean, I'm not gonna down anybody. I'm not the one selling tens of millions of cigars in a year. Because if I was, you sure as hell would never see me again. But I have tried dozens of cigars by Drew Estate.
Yeah.
And this is the only one that I can even stand enough to smoke. I liked it enough to put it in my humidor and keep it, but I've never bought more than that box of 10, and I still have 9 left. So these are
So that one you smoked with me was.
Oh no, okay, so I have 8 left. So you had one and I had one.
Yeah.
It's just because they're so powerful and fake flavor is how I'll call it. That it's.
Yeah.
I can't do it. Like right now, it's kind of getting me a little bit.
Yeah. It's I'm enjoying it. I mean, it's a little early. Like I said, this is a timed cigar for me.
Yeah, and morning is not the right time.
No, this is like a 7 o'clock in the afternoon with a nice hot cup of coffee sitting by the fire.
I'm just gonna note the 7 o'clock part of the afternoon now. But no, mine did turn a little ashy though. That's the downside to some of these cheaper ones. Well, actually, I can't even say cheap because this wasn't cheap. But it's the downside to some of these that you'll get an ash. Yeah. And the sad part is once you get that hot and once you get that ash flavor coming in, it's almost time to put it out. I've had cigars that I've put, like, how much I have left. Yeah. And it was only twice that size. I put it out. Yeah. Because once that ash hits you, man, you're done. Yeah. You are absolutely done.
Because there's no going.
No, there's no correcting that. But sometimes that's the cigar, but sometimes that's you as a smoker smoking it too fast. Yeah. No, I didn't smoke this too fast because trust me, it's kind of eating me away a little bit. Yeah. But it's developing, and sometimes that's inside the tobacco as well. We're gonna take another little tiny break here, but when we come back, 2020s, 2021s, any last thoughts, comments, and concerns we have, and then that'll be wrapping it up for this particular episode here. So stay with us.
The Cigar Lounge is sponsored in part by Rockstar Divisions. Get yourself the Rockstar treatment today. We offer lawn care, landscaping, tree services, and leaf removal. Whether it's spring, summer, or fall, we have the services for you. Give us a call today, 724-605-5135, and get the Rockstar treatment that you deserve. La Vega Cigar Company by Aaron Paoletta, brought to you today by Wurby Films. Get your La Vega cigar today. Choose from the Il Primo or the Il Segundo, sold exclusively by Wurby Films and the Cigar Lounge Cigar Show.
Weege Photography believes in all your adventures. From graduating seniors to capturing the magic of your wedding day, to corporate events and restaurant openings, and everything in between. Weege Photography is here to tell your story. Photographer Alexa Paoletta believes in a simple approach, that no vision, dream, or memory to be made magic should ever be out of reach. For more information, visit weegeworks.com.
All right, guys, welcome back. My cigar has completely turned ashy. It's just an unfortunate thing, so I will not be touching that the rest of the time. But I was into my second, third, and by the time it actually hit that flavor profile was still there. It was still that vanilla, still that coffee, that creme brulee that I was tasting. So it held pretty well, and it's just like the bigger version I have. Yeah. which my bigger version, my 6 by 60 gauge, it didn't do that.
Yeah.
It didn't go ash. I smoked that thing all the way down to the nub. Actually, you smoked yours all the way down to the nub too. So
Yeah.
it's just that might have been a bad one
And
there.
I mean, I'm just getting into. I'm about halfway through my second third, and I mean, it still tastes just the same as I lit it up. I am getting a hint of like a pepper. I didn't get it out of the bigger one.
Yeah, I didn't get any pepper in that. Sometimes these infused ones, they remain a single profile the entire way through. You're not going to get that third thing that we do on most of them because all the tobacco is soaked.
Yeah.
It's all washed with the flavor, so everything has the same flavor for the most part. Sometimes you do get that rare event where it does switch off into that. But that being said, hang around you too much. Let's go into some 2020 releases just in case you missed them.
Hey, we're starting off with some Drew Estates.
Oh, of course we are.
Yep. A couple different sizes. Is the bottle.org. All right. Is that even an actual cigar? Because it says .org on there.
I really don't know. This came from Half Wheel, so I don't know what unless someone over there is sleeping on the job. Yeah, I don't know. I would just roll with that.
All right. Well, anyway.
Which, funny enough, number 4 made me laugh. I didn't realize it was that new.
Oh, well, hey. The Drew Estate Tabak Especial Dulce. Whatever.
Did you hear that?
Mm-hmm.
Especial Dulce.
Dulce, okay.
Especial douche. That's what he... So apparently this particular cigar came out in June of 2020. I didn't realize it was that new. Because a buddy of mine actually handed me... Weege, can you get into my day bag and the part that's unzipped and grab the little tin? Actually, now that we're talking about this, since we got the medium-sized version on here, and I have the big-sized version at home, which I don't have. If I'd have thought about it, I'd have actually brought it with me. This was given to me.
Yeah.
Not this one. I bought this one. But this was actually given to me by a buddy of mine, one of my Masonic brothers. And this is how I first found out about it. And that was over summer of 2020. And I actually have 2 of them in here. Here's the mini. And he actually has the darker version of this.
Yep.
Which actually, you know what? Forgot I even had that one.
Yep.
That's the darker version of this. So that's how I first found out about them. Because I smoked on that and I'm like, wow, that's a tasty little bastard.
Yeah,
These ones I think taste better than the bigger ones.
Yeah, honestly, I think for the small flavored ones, I think the mini ones are the way to go for...
Because it's just the right amount of fake flavor sweetener. Yeah. It doesn't want to choke you and make you want to puke.
Yeah.
But I also got my Fuentes. Mr. Fuente, I want to meet you. Yeah, until he looks at this episode and goes, yeah, but you have him in there with Tabak, so no, the hell with you. No, I'm not saying he would do that.
But I've never heard of these guys. EP Corello Pledge Prequel. That's a new line. The EP Corello Prez Corello Encore 656. I think I did pretty decently on that because I have no fucking idea what that's a limited edition.
But then again, when we were looking at the 2020s, when I first went to print all these out specifically to do this, there were so many 2020s. But then you look at the 2021s, like it's going to get to a point where I'm not going to have any 2021s.
Yeah.
It's getting ridiculous.
Yeah.
But some of them just pop out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Like I keep checking that list to see if it's grown at all, but it just hasn't.
The Eastern Standard Sun-Grown Magic. That's a limited edition. It's Dominican Republic. That one's probably going to be a hard one to come by. There's a couple of these I'm not even going to try to pronounce because...
What do we go? We went to 2 different cigar shops yesterday.
Yeah.
We were looking for that Viking. What was that, Mad Viking?
No, American Viking.
American Viking. Could not find it.
No.
I did find it online.
Did you?
I did find it online. I have to go check my pad. I don't remember where I went to find it, but I did find it. You can get them by the stick online. Normally when we're testing cigars, we're actually going to stores to get them
Yeah.
because we're buying 1 or 2 at a time just to test. But when we go to buy boxes, dude, I'm buying them online. And it's nothing against all of our local places here. I do appreciate them. I do want to help them out, but bros, you charge too much. Like, I'm all about my money. I'm not gonna spend an extra $50 on a box when I can get it online for cheaper.
Yeah, I had to
Now,
get...
that's not always the solution, though.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna say that right now. At least if it's coming from that humidor down at this shop or the ones that we go to, I know how they're taking care of them.
Yeah.
The ones you're getting online, they're in a massive warehouse that was converted into a humidor, and now you're looking at it, you got to kind of trust what they did.
Mm-hmm.
When you get, I mean, I've gotten some that I've had to leave in the humidor for about 3 months before I even touched them. So that's not always the best way, but if you are into saving money, there's plenty of places you can go online
Yeah.
to get them.
I mean, saving a little bit of money is everybody's favorite thing, pretty much.
It is, but you wouldn't believe how many people actually go and try to save money and then only to get their cigars home and not give them the proper home.
Yeah.
You know, Mr. K told me, if you're going to spend good money on good cigars, give those good cigars a good home. Get a proper humidor. Don't get something that's a cheap bastard.
Yeah.
Get something that keeps the humidity.
Yeah.
The temperature remains the same the entire time. Like, get the proper stuff to do it. Otherwise, you might as well throw it in your trunk of your car.
Yeah. The heat, the warm, the cold, the...
Yeah, it's just ridiculous.
Yep. Some new ones?
Yeah, well, the very few that I have, because like I'm running out of stuff here, man. Trinidad. Here you go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of them. The Robusto, the Magnum, Fundador.
Oh, that sounds
I'm
fun.
not even shitting you. Fundador. Fundador. Where's that at? Delicioso. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, and the Toro. Nicaragua is where they're coming from. They're all a brand new line. They're all scheduled, and they all should be out by now. January 2021. Then there's one called the Warfighter 50 cal Field Maduro Minutemen. Try putting that onto a cigar label. It is also coming from Nicaragua. It was announced. There is not a release date as of the time I'm reading this, and it is a line extension. That's what I got. This is what I'm saying. I'm running out of stuff here. Because my next list only has like 3 on it, and that's it for the whole season. So unless I can get any more,
we can go over some like some decent humidors. Or
oh yeah,
something.
we'll definitely pick out something to keep you guys up to date on. But we just got the 30-second mark, which is good because my cigar's been out for a while. You're still sucking yours down.
Yep.
So until next time, smoke well.